It's a slightly unexpected football Sunday in USL League One today as the Richmond Kickers host the Greenville Triumph in a game postponed from yesterday thanks to Tropical Storm Ophelia. The Kickers are already eliminated from playoff contention, but they'll be seeking their first win since July 1st. Triumph have a chance to jump into 5th place with a win and give themselves some breathing room in the playoffs. As you can see here, Greenville in 6th. A win tonight would jump them above Fort Bannister, still with a game on hand on them, and 4th place Charlotte Independence. There's still plenty to play for the Triumph. A 98% playoff chance of making the playoffs here. But coming into this one, and that number will jump if they can win, obviously. Let's take a look at our player to watch for the Richmond Kickers tonight. Well, while the second half of the season has been a big disappointment for Richmond, one positive to come out of it is the young Kickers talent has got some action in League One. One of those is getting his first start tonight for Richmond. 18-year-old Beckett Howell. He'll start in the center of the Richmond backline after coming off the bench in the last 5. He's a product of the Richmond United Youth Club, which the Kickers now run, so the club clearly already seeing the benefit of that arrangement here tonight. They've also got Landon Johnson, a 16-year-old who signed a pro deal just a couple of weeks ago. 16-year-old Nicholas Simmons, the future looking bright for Richmond. As for Greenville, they've only scored multiple goals once in the last 7. They made a move earlier this week to try and remedy that, bringing in former FC Tucson striker Fernando Garcia, 24-year-old, physical presence at 6'2". Showed some scoring touch in the desert, 4 goals in 18 appearances. He had a game winner over Chattanooga and a goal against Greenville in a 2-2 draw last October. He also made the ESPN Top 10 last spring with a superb acrobatic bicycle kick that you can find online for the Des Moines Menace. He won't start today, but could well make his debut in the second half. Well, we're nearly ready to go in this one. Kickaroo is ready. The Kickers are ready. The Triumph are ready. A big one here in Virginia on Sunday. Stick with us. We'll be right back with the first half kickoff and lineups from City Stadium. We'll be right back after this break.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
So we've decided to sell the house.
Oh, yeah? Who's your realtor?
Well,
Over here, guys, over here. Only $10.
Where do I find comps? What is encumbrance? How do I escrow?
Here's what I found for Scarecrow.
actually, I've been meaning to ask who you and Paul worked with.
Welcome to Royal New Kent Golf Club. Designed by world-renowned architect Mike Strantz, Royal New Kent's a one-of-a-kind Irish-style golf course located 20 minutes east of Richmond, Virginia. Royal New Kent was featured in Golf Week's top 100 public courses in the country. Hidden behind grassy knolls and hand-stacked rock walls, each hole offers several playing options to fit a wide range of abilities. Visit royalnewkent.com or follow us on social media for more information on tee times and rates. Remember, come to Royal New Kent Golf Club to Golf Ireland in Virginia.
We would not have a business today if it weren't for the support of the many, many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the UCrops brand stands for.
Welcome back to Richmond as we get ready for this game presented by the Virginia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Before we get to lineups, let's take a look back at the season series between these two sides. The first game was all the way back in the second week of the season, a short corner. Richmond won 1-0 in this 12th minute goal from Colton Belmar. He'll start tonight. Caught Greenville napping a little bit before firing home. Greenville outshot Richmond 14-5 in that game, though. And then mid-May, Greenville took that 1-0 lead on that free kick by Lucas Coutinho. Brandon Fricky made it 2 when Akira came flapping on that corner. Richmond replied in the 59th, though. Paul Mack by Belmar and the composed finish by Nathan Orney. And Luke Pavone completed the comeback with 8 minutes left for the 2-2 there. Here are your lineups presented by Virginia Army National Guard. First of all, the Kickers, 3 changes for Darren Sawatsky from that 2-0 loss at Madison 2 Thursdays ago. Outgoer Kira Fitzgerald had a bad mistake on that first goal. In comes Will Palmquist for him, his 9th start of the season. Also out Chris Cole And Joao Gamero, who's not even in at the 18. Beckett Howe mentioned he gets his first ever start for Richmond, and Carlton Belmar comes in on the right, scored that goal against Greenville earlier this season, and has 3 assists on the year. As for Greenville tonight, they'll be in their lunar kits, coached by, of course, former men's national team legend John Harkes. They will continue with their 3-5-2. No changes for John Harkes from their big 1-0 win on the road at Knoxville last week, and look for Coutinho to play a little bit behind Castro. Frankie and Gavilanes may switch sides occasionally. There's Leo Castro, 11 goals on the season to lead the Triumph, who have played very well on the road of late. Richmond have not been the usual home studs that they usually are this season. Tenth place of the league high 10th draws. And we're underway here from City Stadium. Kickers in all black going from right to left. Greenville Triumph in their sort of off-white lunar kits going from left to right. On your screen, my name is Ross Davenport. Thanks for joining us for this one. Again, postponed from yesterday. Supposed to be a 6 o'clock kickoff yesterday. Obviously postponed earlier in the week thanks to that tropical storm that went through. Hope everybody is okay. So some people lost some power. So hopefully everybody's got their power back for this one. There's a look at the 18-year-old centre back, Beckett Howell, making his first ever start for the Kickers. Will Greenville challenge him early and often here? You have to think perhaps, or it looks like playing a little more left back at the moment. I know Michael Hornsby and Fitch can also play inside. It does look like I see Chandler or Dwyer back there as well. Nathan Darren Swatsky surprising us a little bit with his formation so far. We'll keep an eye on that as we go. Here's Alan Gavilanes on the left side, 7 assists to lead the Triumph this season. Tyler Polak, you may get a little look later. You may get a look in the second half at the back of his head. Tyler Polak, normally a fully shaved head guy, did tell me a couple of years ago that he goes with the electric shaver rather than the manual. And here's Noah Frankie streaking down that right side, testing Howell now. Cross comes in. Castro's in the vicinity. To be cleared away by the Kickers. Tyler Polak has a square of hair, we're going to call it, on the back of his head. Perhaps a little playoff tradition. They're not in the playoffs yet, but 98% chance, say the stat guys coming into this one. A win here would certainly get them even higher. That tough trip to Fuego, obviously hailstorm coming up on Friday, so points no given in these last 4 games for the Triumph. I mentioned in that pregame, struggled to score a little bit over the last 7 or so games. Only 1 multi-goal performance in there. Sort of turned into the old Greenville a little bit. Does look like Michael Hornsby is pushing up in the left midfield side of things, as Tyler Polak is down. Perhaps we can get a look at his hair here. You can see it there slightly. It's an interesting look, put it that way. There's a look on the replay, brought to you by Greenswald Growers. Just a bit too much physicality there. That's from Ryan Sierakowski. On that far side, the former Madison man, Revs 2 man. Jaron Mazzola on the ball there. Started all but 1 game this season. He set out recently with a slight calf issue, but seems to be okay now. Jamie Smith. We'll get to him in a second, as here comes Lucas Coutinho streaking through the middle. Finds Castro. He was looking for the return pass to Coutinho, but falls to Gavilanes. Looking to shake off Zaka Moran. And he does. Good cross in by Gavilanes. Yes! Coutinho was there, but it falls to Frankie. His cross is blocked by Hornsby, the German. Frankie will try to let it roll out of play. It's not gonna do so though. Pilato now finds Walker, gets it back. Good start here for the Triumph. They'd love an early goal in this one. Mentioned Jamie Smith. Missed a lot of time earlier this season with some heel issues. Now cemented that spot in this back 3 on the right-hand side for John Harkes. Physical presence, loves to win those aerial duels. And score goals too. Scored a late equalizer a couple weeks ago. Noah Frankie to John Harkes about Noah Frankie. Wants to see a little more of him going forward. Former FC Tucson man. John Harkes said what a big win it was at Knoxville. He soaked up some early pressure. He said he was trying not to make it a must-win. Here comes Hornsby now on the left channel. And there's Smith with good work again. Using his body to get Hornsby off at the ball there. He said they were trying not to make that Greenville game a must-win. He said the guys were a bit tight. They struggled early. Knoxville had some real good chances in that contest early. Obviously, Alan Gavalanes gave away the penalty. He didn't think it was a penalty. It was missed in the end off the post. So they thought they did well, competed, made it real compact in the second half and held on for the 6 points. He said it felt like a playoff atmosphere in that game. Here's a long throw from Nathan Orney. Flicked on, still bouncing around in there, comes off the head of Belmar and out for a goal kick. Select, the official match ball supplier of USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Jeremy Zola waiting to take this goal kick. His clean sheet last weekend was only his second in the last 10 games. People have been leaking goals at times, but they've pulled out the wins when they've needed to. Here's a look at your injury report powered by Bonsecourt. We thought we might see Ethan Vanacore-Decker tonight. He's been out all season with his Achilles injury, but he's not quite ready to go soon though. And Tevin Shaw, really the only man out for Greenville. You saw Emiliano Terzaghi now missing 5 straight games with a lower leg issue. Obviously a big loss for Richmond, but at this point, do you really want to risk re-injuring himself perhaps with nothing to play for? Interesting to see if we see Emiliano Terzaghi, who will now lose his Golden Boot title this season to Trevor Ammon after winning it for 3 straight years. It's Mazzola with that trademark massive boot. Gavalanes played out of there by Simon Fitch. Palmquist not the most effective of clearances. Palado now. He loses possession. Neil Vinyals, one real bright spot for Richmond this season, Neil Vinyals. Darren Swatsky said teams have been trying to mark him out the game. He's been so effective. Here's Michael Hornsby. Got Beckett Howell in the overlap. Instead goes back to Justin Suko. John Lara Dwyer definitely playing on the back line tonight, the Englishman. He's played on the wing of recent times. See how high up Darren Swatsky loves to play his fullbacks. Zucker Moran will almost pull back into that center back spot as he did there to help out. That one won't be kept in. A bit sloppy there from the kickers. Here are your keys to the match. Brought to you by CarMax. Listen, Richmond, their season's over. They've looked at times in the second half of the season to have given up, perhaps. Tonight they've got to play with pride. That's good work there by Palmquist as he comes out to claim it and gets clipped by Noah Frankie, excuse me. Might give the free kick there to the Richmond kickers keeper. Lovely little ball through to Frankie. Castro got there first. Let's see if we can see it here. Oh, yeah, he just clipped Palmquist on the way by. As you mentioned, Richmond got to play for pride tonight. They've still got some games to go this season where they can play spoiler, this being one of them. Carlton Belmar, the man that scored in the first meeting between these two teams this season. He produces the first corner of the game, brought to you by WW Nash & Sons. Saw Greenville there. Their key to the game, they've got to score first here. They're not the kind of team with the effective offense to come from behind with ease. The first goal would take the crowd out of the game. Obviously not the usual big crowd we see for Richmond games. The NFL Sunday taking some of the people away from the stadium here today. River City Red Army making noise though as Castro nods this one away. Richmond trying to keep it in the final third. Beckett Howell gets dispossessed by Aaron Walker. Does almost look like a three-back system for Darren Sawatzki. Castro, that's a good stretch there by the Colombian, and a good ball in. He's looking for Coutinho. Fall to Pilato instead, who finds Gavilanes. Evan Lee on the ball man, converted center back, been playing defensive midfield most of this season. Sort of 3-5-1-1 formation. It's like more like a 3-1-4-1-1. Here is Frankie now. Nice little bit of interplay with Castro. Back to his left foot. Frankie swings it in, nodded away. Coutinho gets the first touch. Really, he'll take a crack, but it's right at Will Palmquist. But more good play from the Triumph. Getting bodies flooding into that box. There's another look at it here. Coutinho just wanted that ball more than Viñals. Certainly had a better angle on it. It was more coming down on Viñals' head, while Coutinho could see the flight of the ball a little better. Looks like Beckett Howell is playing sort of an advanced fullback position. As is Fitch on the other side. Is where it looks like almost a three at the back at times for Darren Sawatzki. He loves to push his fullbacks up, one of his trademarks. Be a throw for Greenville. No, just not taken from the right spot. Beckett Howell go back and take it from the right spot. Again, product of Richmond United, the local youth club, which the Richmond Kickers now run. He was playing for them since U12s. Beckett Howell. Darren Sawatzki talking this week how really wants this youth program to work. Evan Lee all over the back of Neil Viñals. I mentioned Greenville might want to keep a close eye on Viñals, but perhaps not that close. Greenville come into this one with 3 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws in their last 9. Chance here for the Kickers to break. Sarakowski was offside, but Fitch wasn't. Here's Belmar now. The best pass by him. Gavilanes will poke it away. Moran. They lost their first 3 road games this season, Greenville. Some people were panicking. They've only lost 2 of their last 11. They've only allowed 6 goals in their last 8 away games. They allowed 12 in their first 5 this season. It's the 13th game between these two sides. Both teams have won 5 times and 2 draws. And those both came in the last 3 meetings. We've got results in one of the early contests between these 2 original League One sides. Palmquist goes long. Good break up by Belmar, who gets body checked by Evan Lee. We'll see if the referee comes back to address that bit of hockey play. Still in play on the far side here. Gavilanes fighting over there, Neil Viñals. Justin Suko inside the box now. Moves it back to Viñals. Fitch. Back to Viñals. Swinging in right-footed. Shanked away by Noah Pilato for WW Nash & Sons corner. Appears the referee will not take any action for that Evan Lee body check. Got away with one there. The second corner of the game for the home team. Some big bodies in there. Beckett Howell's not short. Neither is Nathan Orney. Swung in left-footed. Headed away by Jamie Smith inside the 6-yard box. Mazzola didn't even think about coming for it. Howell. His cross finds the side netting of Jared Mazzola's goal. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023. Whether your club's on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home to the USL La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. As Frankie's ball intended for for Castro goes astray. Now a chance here for Hornsby to break. Vignas back to Hornsby. So this is a traditional 4-1-4-1 for Darren Sawatsky. We just perhaps didn't expect Beckett Howell out wide. Chandler Dwyer, who can play all over the place, is at center back. Hornsby pushing up into the midfield, where he has done previously. Greenville did come out as expected in their 3-5-2. Walker now, the influential captain for Greenville. Noah Frankie. Aaron Walker's been around since 2019 with Greenville, as Evan Lee, Tyler Polak. You have to wonder if this will be the last hurrah for this core group for Greenville. This one falls to Frankie. A bit lucky there, bounced right to him. Going to take on Beckett Howell. Good work by the youngster there. Howell finds Palado. Walker. Lee. Back to Tyler Polak. With a good spell of possession here, but they're going backwards. That's a bit of frustration there, and that's going to result in the first yellow card of the evening to centre back Nathan Orney. Just silly stuff there from the big man. Didn't really need to do that. It's his 8th yellow card of the season.
Richmond Kicker's yellow card is next, number 24, Nathan Orney.
Needless one, especially at this point in the game. Carlton Belmar is going to have his say regarding the decision. The referee tonight is Gary Gutierrez. Nathan only did have a spell of 7 games without a yellow card recently, so he did get one taken away, so no suspension yet for Nathan Orney. We only do get a 1-game suspension as Castro gets around Orney, but Palmquist comes to the rescue. 8 games is normally when you get your 1-game suspension for yellow card accumulation, but you do get cards taken away for playing 5 games without one. And Leo Castro is 1 yellow card away. Interesting to see at some point if he takes a yellow card once the Triumph have secured a playoff spot perhaps, but the cards do not carry over into the playoffs. You do get that 8th yellow card in the final, in the regular season finale. You are not suspended for the first game of the playoffs. You will be suspended for the first game next year. So that happened at the end of last season. I can't remember who it was for. Somebody got yellow or red in the last game. Carlton Belmar now with some space right side of the box. He pulls it back, up to Evan Lee, whose clearance attempt is shanked with his left foot. Goes right back to Belmar. Brandon Fricke all over it. Sierakowski. Suko now with the left-footed attempt. Never really threatened Jared Mazzola's goal. The first shot of the evening for the Richmond Kickers. Ballboy had to be careful there. He wasn't paying attention. Almost took one off the back of the noggin. "18 minutes into this one, no goals yet between the Kickers and the Triumph. Had a ton of goals yesterday, man. That Lexington game was absolute chaos. 5-3 there against. My mind just went blank for a complete second, which it tends to do sometimes. And I did the highlights, Chattanooga. It's been a busy week. This one's nodded away. Chattanooga, one of those teams that they never seem to go away. They're obviously finalists last year. Not going to make the playoffs this time around. Lexington technically still alive. Got to look at the playoff. Oh, I take that back. They were eliminated last night with that loss. They have 30 points. 11 points off the playoffs. With only 9 points available to them. So 4 teams eliminated: Lexington, Richmond, Chattanooga, and Central Valley. 3 teams clinched: North Carolina, Union, Omaha, and Northern Colorado. If you stick around with us at halftime, we'll show you how those 5th through 8th spots still look. Charlotte pretty much cemented in 4th. Unless Greenville win this one, they would make it interesting down the stretch for Charlotte. Greenville have beaten Charlotte a couple of times this season. That could be a potential 4-5 matchup. Charlotte would love to have that in Charlotte, though. I don't think Greenville would mind too much if that game was on the lovely turf, the lovely grass, I should say, in Cary, rather than the turf of Paladin Stadium. She'll like sleeping in on the beds, though. Here's Belmar now. Drops it off to Suko. Looking for the run of Simon Fitch. Will he get to this one? Yes, he will. Good effort there by Simon. Well, he kept it in initially, but the linesman says the ball went out of play. So he kept it in, then the ball curled out of play before coming back into play, so it'll be a goal kick for Jared Mazzola. Kickers obviously had some serious losses after last season. Jonathan Bolaños, Ethan Bryant, Richie Payne, etc. Pieces that replaced them just haven't quite worked out. They lost 21 of their 39 assists from last season, which is a lot to replace. It hasn't quite worked out for Darren Sawatzki, but he'll certainly be back next season. Most of the deals in USL League One are 1 year with a team option. So Darren Sawatzki may have a chance to clear house a little bit. Obviously Richmond not with the biggest budget in the league by any means. Interestingly, only 2 of the 12 previous matchups between these two sides have been decided by multiple goals. Richmond 2-0 win in August 2021 and a 3-1 Greenville win in July last year. Every other game has been a draw and decided by 1 goal. Frank just about keeps that one in, but then Walker loses out to Vinyals. This is a dangerous man, streaking in close to the box here, but his pass goes a little astray, but then gets it back. But he did foul, and that's going to be, well, he's lucky not to get a yellow card there, Neil Vinyals. He may still get one for that response. And he will get the yellow card for bouncing that ball. It's pretty much a given anytime you do that. Carlton Belmar still complaining. So Neil Vinyals into the books. Funnily enough, Richmond came into this game having committed the fewest fouls in the league. Silly response there from the man from Barcelona, Spain, 27 years old. This is 6th yellow card of the season. Was the player of the month back in March, then missed a month with an ankle injury. Leads the team with 58 chances created. The next 2 highest on the team, Simon Fitch and Michael Hornsby, the fullbacks, with 23 and 22 apiece. Darren Sawatzki just said he really hasn't got the production he's wanted from his wings this season. Michael Hornsby getting a chance perhaps tonight to prove he can play up there, show some versatility. Just past the halfway mark here in the first half. No goals yet between Richmond and the Greenville Triumph. 1 shot apiece, just the 1 on target from Greenville. It's from Lucas Coutinho in the 10th minute. Pretty tame shot right at Will Conquest. Here Fitzgerald not getting his 127th appearance tonight for Richmond. He made a poor mistake, giving the ball away on the first goal 2 Thursdays ago against Madison. It's a nice little bit of interplay though. Here's Beckett Howe now into the corner of the box. Beckett Howe, oh, that's a dangerous ball for Belmar. He saw the nice diagonal run, but Belmar just couldn't get a toe on it. It would certainly have resulted in a goal. Jared Mazzola was beaten. Good work by the youngster down the left channel. Beckett Howe. Jamie Smith now. Knocked away by Howe. He certainly looked the part so far in this one. River City Red Army in section hook, making good noise as always. take a look at Richmond's remaining schedule when we get to halftime. They do have 2 more home games after this still, in the final 3. Against Tormenta. Here's Leo Castro now with a strike. He's always swerving away from Will Palmquist's goal. Will actually go out for a throw-in on that far side. Tormenta next Saturday. It's just Saturday now, I guess, considering we're on Sunday here today, and then they will host Central Valley in the finale on October 14th. Knoxville away on Friday the 6th, so these next 3 games for Richmond will have an impact on the playoff scenarios. Here's Gavilanes, nice ball from Coutinho. Looking for Castro near post. That was the game winner last Saturday, the Gavilanes-Castro connection. Aaron Walker lays it off for Jamie Smith. Frankie to his right, looks for Castro low. He's beaten out there though by Zaka Moran. Richmond will look to clear, but they don't, and it falls to Frankie. First bit of youth showing there for Beckett Howe. Jamie Smith's cross is blocked by Michael Hornsby. This little touch by Collado. He's beaten out by Chandler O'Dwyer, who's then fouled. It's been a tight affair so far here at City Stadium. Just the 1 shot each. Richmond with the edge in possession, 57.9%. Here's another look at that foul. Just stepped on the foot of Chandler O'Dwyer. Did Noah Frankie there. Frankie, the man from Orlando. Had some injury troubles over the last couple of seasons. This time earlier this season with a hamstring injury. John Parks did talk in our call this week about trying to figure out the connection on the right side of this Greenville midfield. I'm going to consider Noah Frankie a midfielder as a right wing back. He hasn't quite figured it out just yet. Frankie's been getting some chances out there. We've seen Liam McKinnon playing as well. He hasn't been getting as many minutes of late. Devin Boyce, obviously, the former Omaha man, has tried playing his trade out there on the right wing. Frankie more of a true wing back. McKinnon, Boyce more wingers, though Boyce and McKinnon can both play inside as well. There's O'Dwyer. Walker with the press, and O'Dwyer will go all the way back to Will Palmquist. It's 5 straight starts now for Chandler O'Dwyer. He's only in the squad 9 times last season. Getting a chance to show his stuff here for Darren Sawansky in 2023. Here's Frankie. That's a delightful ball for Coutinho. First touch is a good one, but he's well defended. Nice work by Zaka Moran there. Polak now pushing up a little bit for the first time tonight. Frankie goes down, no foul. Polak with a crunching challenge, finds Coutinho. Will this lead to a scoring chance? Yes, it will. Coutinho, it squeezes just by the far post of Will Palmquist. That was all Tyler Polak. Take another look at it here. That's a beautiful challenge. Physicality from Polak. Coutinho got enough of it. Just couldn't put it on target. Coutinho going with the playoff mustache, perhaps? Certainly seeing some interesting choices in the hair department for Greenville. Brandon Bricky. Previous hair discussions regarding the Greenville triumph would usually come back to Evan Lee. If you go search Evan Lee in images online, you'll see his various haircuts he's had since his college days. It's worth a look if you get a minute or two. Dwyer goes long here. Vinyals now with some space. Out wide to Suko, back to Vinyals. Great little touch by Suko to bring that long ball down. It's given away again in the final third. Richmond just having trouble unlocking this Greenville backline at the moment. Castro finds Coutinho wide open now. Lucas Coutinho into the left side of the box. Coutinho with the strike, good save. Palmquist down to his left. Coutinho with another chance. This one goes begging. That's 2 on target for him and 1 just off target. Lucas Coutinho getting involved early in this one. Carl Balmer shrugs off Evan Lee. Polak's there to cover. Sweeping in from left back. Here's the other left back. Back at Howell, into Hornsby. The usual left back. Walker leaves that one behind, but gets away with it. Palado. Gets hit late. No call though. Chance for Castro now. Veteran Colombian. 34 years old. He started, this is his 24th start of the season. 11 goals, 6 of them with his head. That's a poor giveaway though, but a superb tackle from Castro, tracking back to stop a legitimate scoring chance. And now Gavilanes, this game opening up here the last few minutes. Can't keep that one in though. Let's take a look back at that save from Will Palmquist. Coutinho, good contact there with his left foot. He's a little far out wide there perhaps for his liking. Moran was in the vicinity, as was Orny. So he had to unleash at that point. There's Darren Sawatsky. His wife hasn't had to make too many cookies this season, unfortunately. His wife makes cookies when Richmond win. And they've only won 6 times this season in 29 games. Hornsby into Belmont now, who's come into that left channel. Back at Howell, which retrieves it. Back to Hornsby. Vinyals cut back in from that left side. This is where he's so dangerous, Neil Vinyals. Belmar is looking for the return to Vinyals, who is onside, but he can't find the target. I think everybody sort of hesitated for a second, thinking Neil Vinyals was offside, but he wasn't. He really should have done better, the Spaniard. Let's take another look at it here in the Greenswell Growers replay. Lovely little 1-2 between him. Yeah, maybe Tyler Pollock was keeping him on side. That one really should have at least forced Jared Mazzola to do something. Vinyals, great chance for his 4th goal of the season. In a 5-game spell in July-August, we had 2 goals and 3 assists, Neil Vinyals. Former Tormenta man, Chandler O'Dwyer goes down. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. Free to play. Download now. Maybe next year we'll get USL League One squads in eFootball. But for now, you'll have to make do with a championship squad. I'm sure most people have a favorite championship squad as well as a League One team. Zachariah, back to O'Dwyer. '34th minute here from Richmond, Virginia. 0-0 between the Triumph and the Kickers. Oh, it's beautiful from Walker through the legs, but just too far. Good work over from Zaka Moran, who's been all over the field tonight. Midfield as well as helping out on the back line, La Maquina. Still seeking his first goal of the season. Actually, his only League One goal ever was back in October 2021. Obviously, a holding midfielder by trade doesn't get forward too much, Zaka Moran, but he does take the occasional set piece. Here's another man that can take set pieces, Neil Vinyals. He's dispossessed by Aaron Walker. That's given away. Orny just too far for Coutinho and not far enough for Gavilanes. Darren Sawatsky referred to Aaron Walker as a chameleon in our call this week. Get to that in a second, as here comes Gavilanes now. Castro making the run inside, still with it, Gavilanes. Castro's there, but nobody else is. And as a result, he's going to run almost through the box. You mentioned how good Aaron Walker is. He can play defensive midfield, then he can push up. If Pallato's having a rough game, Walker will push up and really get involved in the offense. He said he'd love to have him. I'm sure many USL League One coaches would. Good work there by Evan Lee, who was dropping back into the back line with this man, Tyler Pallato, pushing up. He goes down under a challenge from Ryan Sierakowski. So if you haven't got a look at the hair of Tyler Pollock, he's got a big square of hair, as we said. You might get a look at it here if he goes down. There it is on the back. Typo, as his teammates call it. And Lincoln, Nebraska, former Creighton. Just on the end of last season with a knee injury. Greenville really missed him in the playoffs. Back healthy now. This is his second start back. Castro with the hold-up play. Chips to the head looking for Frankie. Now they're nodded out of danger. Greenville trying to keep this one in here. And they do. Now here comes Aaron Walker. Feeds it inside to Pallato. Noah Pallato to the edge of the box. Out wide to Frankie. His right footed cross is far too close to Will Palmquist. And the man in pale blue claims to get things going the other way here. Sierakowski. Really the only center forward in this 11. Well, he's been playing super deep so far tonight, Sierakowski. Started the season with Tormentor on a 25-day temp deal before signing for Richmond in mid-June. Justin Suko now in the right channel. Vinyals. Belmar's chance is snuffed out by Evan Lee. And now a chance for Gavilanes to break. Belmar streaking after him. Sierakowski with a no-nonsense challenge, and that goes out for a throw. So the final 10 minutes here of the second half. Stick around with us. There's a good look at Tyler Pollack's. I'm not going to call it a hairstyle because it has no style to it at all. Perhaps we'll get an explanation from John Harkes when we talk to him this week. Greenville will be back in action on Friday night against the Hailstorm. Let's look at your shot status for this one. 3 by Greenville, 2 by the Kickers. 2 shots on target, both coming from the Triumph. Both coming from Lucas Coutinho. Here's Jamie Smith. Brandon Fricke. Smith is clipped by Michael Hornsby. XG for both teams exactly the same at the moment, 0.19. That tells you where most of this game has been played, in the middle third. Look at your possession stat, 60% in favor of the Kickers. Here's Gavilanes on the right now. Something John Harkes has always loved to do in his career in the USL League One, switch the wings. Now Frankie on the far side. Right-footed cross attempt is blocked by Simon Fitch. Frankie double team. Sierakowski comes over and he'll earn himself a throw. Yeah, 4 shots in this game total, 3 of them by Lucas Coutinho. There's John Harkes in the white. Oh, Frankie has apparently found himself in the book. Not sure exactly what for. It's Frankie's 3rd yellow card of the season. Frankie missed the first 17 games last season when he hurt himself in the preseason, fractured his elbow.
That's a Greenville yellow card.
2 months earlier this season with a hamstring problem.
Fans, hold up your yellow card from your White Claw purchase at Premium Bar. White Claw is donating 1 Kicker's ticket to the Rock
It'll be a throw for Greenville, right in front of the Richmond bench. Asked John Hark some of his favorite road venues to play at, and he mentioned City Stadium as being one of his favorites, as well as Forward Madison. Whitehead Soccer Park, another one, a beautiful surface there. It's Pollock now from his left center back position. Castro with a nice dish off. Will Gavilanes get there? No, he won't. Fitch gets there first. Knocks it out of play. Good little piece of passing there from the Triumph. The stat sheet says Noah Frankie's yellow was for a reckless offense. Not sure exactly what he did on that far side. One will go out for a corner, says referee Gary Gutierrez. I'm not sure which side of the corner flag it went off. I think this is the first Greenville corner kick of the night, and it is. Brought to you by WW Nash & Sons. Noah Palado will come over to take it. Alan Gavilanes will also take some corners. A whole ton of room in the corners here at City Stadium with the wall. Gary Gutierrez having a word with Evan Lee, who's trying to get all up in the business of Will Palmquist, as is the tactic now for so many teams. Richmond with a sort of hybrid marking system here. That one's headed away front post by Fitch as Noah Frankie goes down in the box. Ball's played back in. Castro in there, Walker as well. Richmond will clear. All the way back to Jared Mazzola. Man from Quinnipiac. Signed last season when Ben Hale, who's now retired, went down injured. Mazzola, certainly one of the best shot stoppers in the league. It's a huge boot on him. Made some massive stops this season when Greenville have needed him to. Belmar now with a bit of space. Closed down quickly though, goes back to Moran. That one hits the referee. Coutinho doesn't like the decision to stop again. It'll be a drop ball here that will go to Richmond. Zach Moran, the Argentine. Started every game this season other than the one when after he got suspended for his red card. Sends this one towards the stands. There's a good look at the River City Red Army. They don't care about NFL matches. I assume the majority of Kickers fans are Washington Redskins fans after today's result. The NFL, I don't understand why they're here. Dangerous throw into the box. Chandler O'Dwyer's there, but he can't keep it down, and it bounces over the net of Jared Mazzola as we head into the last 2 minutes of this first half from Richmond. No score between the Kickers and the Triumph. Brandon Fricky goes long. Good aerial duel wins there for Richmond. Here's Vinyals now. Trying to turn Aaron Walker inside out. Alan Gavilanes comes over to help. Hornsby. Back to Moran. Vinyals. Trying to go all the way over towards the corner flag for Ryan Sierakowski, but too ambitious of a pass from Vinyals. That one goes out of play. Short sleeve still in full effect here in Richmond. Head towards October, not sure how long that'll last. Don't think there'll be too much stoppage time added at the end of this first half. Stick around with us at halftime for obviously all the news and notes from around USL League One. We got highlights from last night. Plenty of goals flying in around League One in Saturday night's action. Including 2 late ones from Union Omaha. My first half highlights from this contest, as well as stats, etc. Is Coutinho now on the left side. Cross in, finds Castro, and it's in! I take that back, there's Alan Gavilanes in the left channel, and it's 1-0 triumph. The 2 wingbacks working together on the same side of the field. And the triumph with a late goal that will certainly change Darren Sawatzky's halftime speech. Gavilanes, his first goal of the season to add to his 7 assists. It was good work by Frankie here. Gavilanes just drifted back into space and the kickers forgot about him. They were too focused on the ball. It was a good first touch from Gavilanes to set himself up with too much power on that left-footed effort. As Will Palmquist is left despairing in his 6-yard box. Alan Gavilanes, his first of the season, as we mentioned. Scored 4 goals last year. What a time to score one here. What would be a huge win for the Triumph. See a long way to go yet. Stoppage time brought to you by Greenswell Growers. We'll have 2 minutes of it. That goal will certainly please John Harkes. You want to see a little more creativity in that final third, a little more movement around. That was the 2 wing-backs on the same side of the field. You start on the left, now on the right. That one goes out of play. It's Hornsby now, out wide to Howell. The 18-year-old, his cross low into the box, but Mazzola's there. Many times Alan Gavilanes has been the provider this season for Greenville. He shows up here with a massive goal right before the break. Mazzola with the huge boot again, putting O'Dwyer under pressure. Fitch surveying. Well past our 2 minutes. The goal may have added a little bit to that. Beckett Howell. Hornsby with a good move inside. Coutinho thinks about committing the foul, but doesn't. Hornsby now. Out wide. This is Sierakowski trying to get back to his left foot, and does! Sierakowski evens things up. In the 3rd minute of stoppage time, it's Ryan Sierakowski. His 4th goal of the season. And we will go into the break tied up. Well. John Harkes might be asking why there was the extra minute added on. The goal obviously from Gavilanes. It was a lovely move from Sierakowski. He can do that kind of thing. He's got that talent. It was a beautiful ball from Hornsby. Oh, that was beaten on the inside move. And a classy finish from Sierakowski, the man from Barrington, Illinois. And that will take us to the halftime break here at City Stadium. 2 late goals, 1 from either side. Gavilanes in the 45th. And Sierakowski in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. So we will go to halftime. Tied up just like we did to start things off. Gavilanes answered by Sierakowski. Stick with us here. We're back with halftime highlights, stats, and more from this one. 1-1 at the break.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
Hi, I'm Megan Mack, president of Prospect Blue.
And I'm Jess Barnes, Director of Business Development at Prospect Blue.
Prospect Blue is a staffing and recruiting firm headquartered right here in Richmond, Virginia. We serve the Mid-Atlantic region and beyond.
With the labor market experiencing historic shortages, Prospect Blue is here to help companies attract and retain key talent.
With strong relationships in the corporate, financial, legal, and medical fields, we are in a unique position to connect employers with job seekers.
Welcome back to halftime here, brought to you by Simplicity. Well, it was a fun Saturday night in the USL League One. Tons of goals going in all over the place. Let's see how we got there. Our first game, Charlotte against Madison. Now, we've had some bizarre goals in USL League One over the years. This one might be the strangest of them all. First half stoppage time, Stephen Payne for Madison tries to clear it downfield, and instead it comes off the head of Corey Bennett, over the head of Bernd Shipman and into the back of the net to open the scoring for the Jacks. And then in the second half, Omar Sis, watch him here. He starts this play here. A lovely ball through to Trezor and Buyu in space. On the right, Sis drifts into the box and finishes it one time with the left foot. Charlotte with this victory look pretty much cemented in fourth, unless something crazy happens down the stretch. Here, as we go to Lexington now, 8 goals in this one. The first one from Marius Lomas. The assist from Felipe, not enough pressure on him. His slide rule pass is a beautiful one, finds Lomas. He finishes calmly, the former Greenville Triumph man, and then Felipe will make it 2-0 himself. Hernandez finds him in the channel, and watch this strike from the edge of the box. Amal Knight completely flummoxed by the movement on that ball. Slightly screened, perhaps could have done a little better. Nico Brown will make it 2-1 with a penalty here in the 39th after he was taken down. But then Rapapa Mensah from Riley Kraft, the pullback here, and the calm finish with the left foot by Mensah. That would make it 3-1. And then Kraft would be the provider again in the 56th here. His ball goes all the way through the 6-yard box, finds a Gomez. He's first one to react. He makes it 4-1. Then be 5-1. Felipe with another assist, finds Malanga after the turnover in the Lexington half. Now, Ates Juve, he loves to score, would pick the pocket here of Mikael Williams in the 77th minute. That would make it 5-2, as that was his 13th goal of the season for Ates Juve. And then he would make it 5-3 here, sprinting down the right channel and chipping it calmly over Aviles for his 14th goal this season to finish the scoring in that one. Now, the next one only had 1 goal, but what a goal it was. Tormenta with the big 6-point win over 1 Knoxville, just outside the playoff spots, these two. Kale would earn the free kick here, just outside the box. He played a little bit of advantage, that's why it was a little close. And watch this strike from Akale. My word. And the CR7 celebration to boot as Tormenta wins this one and hangs around in the race for the playoffs. Off to Werner Park, where Omaha were looking for their 10th straight win, but it was Fuego who would get on the board first here in the 56th. Beautiful ball over the top from Cerritos. Billy Forbes, his effort saved by Nuhu, but Zahir Vasquez is there to hook it home from the penalty spot. Then to the 77th minute, Los Bujos would tie things up with this lovely finish coming up here from Noe Meza following a cheeky back heel from Pedro Dalabella right there. And then in stoppage time, it's substitute Joe Gallardo taking his back to his Galazzo scoring days with the Richmond Kickers. He plays the hero here. Let's rip from distance and beat Sean Lewis, top bins for the winner. 10 wins in a row for Omaha. Well, stick with us. We'll be right back with more halftime stuff. Oh, I forget we got the last game, and I did this game. North Carolina. Garrett McLaughlin with a superb free kick from just outside the box. That would give North Carolina the 1-0 lead. It beat the 80-something minute till Northern Colorado had their first shot on goal in this game. Oleg Sanderson finishes things off 2-0 as North Carolina remain in first place.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
We would not have a business today if it weren't for the support of the many, many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the UCrops brand stands for.
Welcome back to Halftime, presented by Simplicity. Let's take a look at some news and notes from around USL League One. Hispanic Heritage Month got going in the middle of September. We'll run through October 15th. Always a fun time of year. Lexington, they've named Nacho Novo an interim head coach. Strange timing on this one. Stan Stock, they'll go back to being just solely the sporting director like he was at the beginning of the franchise. Lalo Delgado, your player of the week with his 4th penalty save of the season. There's a look at your Week 27 team of the week. Delgado, Mukweli Akale, what a goal he had last night. He could certainly find himself on this team once again come early next week. Here's a look at your playoff spots. Spots 5 through 8, the real critical battle going on at the moment. Greenville with a win tonight would jump above Madison into 5th and would be chasing Charlotte in 4th. Do have a game in hand. Keep an eye on Greenville perhaps. So you do have a tough trip midweek to Fuego coming up as well. And Tormenta with a big win over Knoxville last night, jumping up as well. It's going to be a great run to the end for these final 2 playoff spots. Here is the upcoming schedule in USL League One. Greenville, they lose a day of preparation because of this game being moved to Sunday due to the tropical storm. So we'll see if that has an effect. Big one, another one on Friday as well. North Carolina hosting a Union Omaha. 1 versus 2 again there. This time in Cary as it was last night in Northern Colorado. And some other big games as well on Saturday night. Here's the remaining schedule for the Richmond Kickers. Obviously out of playoff contention, playing for pride at the moment. They can certainly play spoiler in those first 2 games. Tormenta trying to get into the playoff spots as well as Knoxville. So Richmond still have plenty to play for here. They'll finish off at home on home against Fuego on the 14th. As for Greenville, they do have that game in hand. So 4 games still left after this one. That big home game against Northern Colorado coming up on Friday. Then a trip to Fuego on a Wednesday. and then at Chattanooga on the 7th, and they will finish at home against Lexington. Stay right with us. We'll be right back with first half highlights from this one between the Richmond Kickers and the Greenville Triumph.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
So we've decided to sell the house.
Oh, yeah? Who's your realtor?
Well,
Home for sale, home for sale. Over here, guys, over here. Only $10.
Where do I find comps? What is encumbrance? How do I escrow?
Here's what I found for Scarecrow.
actually, I've been meaning to ask who you and Paul worked with.
Welcome to Royal New Kent Golf Club. Designed by world-renowned architect Mike Strantz, Royal New Kent's a one-of-a-kind Irish-style golf course located 20 minutes east of Richmond, Virginia. Royal New Kent was featured in Golf Week's top 100 public courses in the country. Hidden behind grassy knolls and hand-stacked rock walls, each hole offers several playing options to fit a wide range of abilities. Visit royalnewkent.com or follow us on social media for more information on tee times and rates. Remember, come to Royal New Kent Golf Club to Golf Ireland in Virginia.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
Welcome back to halftime here at City Stadium, presented by Simplicity. 2 late goals, 1 for each team at the end of the first half. We have a 1-1 tie at the break. Let's have a look at how we got there. Halftime highlights also brought to you by Simplicity. Wasn't a ton of action in either final third for the first 45 minutes of this one. Beckett Howell here with a good ball in for Carlton Belmar, but just a little too much on it. Lucas Coutinho had 3 of the first 4 shots at one point. Here's Coutinho. And then pull it back here for Gavilanes. 1 touch and smashed into the roof. Another Will Palmquist net. That was in the 45th minute. The assist from Noah Frankie. Greenville perhaps thought they would take the 1-0 lead to the break, but it wasn't to be. In the 3rd minute of stoppage time, Michael Hornsby goes across the pitch. Lovely ball through to Ryan Sierakowski. Turns inside Tyler Pollack, gets control and it fires it left-footed into the far corner of Jarrett Mazzola's goal. Got a little lucky there with the bounce off the knee, did Sierakowski, but it was a superb finish, his 4th goal of the season. The assist for Hornsby was his 3rd of the campaign, and there's your halftime stats. A tight affair. 3 shots on target for Greenville. Will Palmquist, a couple of comfortable saves. 1 comfortable save to make 1 good one. And 2 yellow cards for the kickers to Vignals and Orney. Yellow card for Greenville to Noah Frankie. So almost ready to get things going again here to start the second half. Don't see any immediate changes for the Triumph. I do. Liam McKinnon's in, number 9 there, right in front of me. So Liam McKinnon in. Let's see if we can see who's come out. So Noah Frankie departs. Brings in Liam McKinnon. So perhaps we'll see Greenville go back to a 4 at the back now. Perhaps with Lee dropping in and McKinnon going out to the right wing. McKinnon certainly not really a wing back. McKinnon's certainly not more of a wing back, more of a true winger. See exactly how Greenville adjust here with the loss of Frankie. Did have the yellow card in that first half. Leo Castro gets us going again here from City Stadium. Noah Palado charging up the middle. So Liam McKinnon on the left for now. Again, Evan Lee does drop back into that back 4 when back into that back 3 when needed. Looks like that's what will happen here. Greenville will go back to the back four. Walker or Pilato will drop into that 6 role. McKinnon will stay out wide and push forward. Greenville only one multi-goal game in their last 7 coming into this one. Haven't heard of any changes for Richmond as of yet. It's Nathan Orney. Scored in the last meeting between these two teams. It wasn't the header. We'll let this one roll out of play. Right in front of goal scorer Ryan Sierakowski. Quality finish from that man. McKinnon on, the man who scored 4 goals in the game earlier this season, the rookie out of Villanova, 7 total goals on the year. This is his 8th substitution appearance. He missed some time with a hamstring injury a couple months ago. Castro hooks it down the field looking for Coutinho. Coutinho win this battle? Yes, he will. And then Castro with a bit of a heavy touch. Vignals will cross halfway. Spins it wide. Hornsby again, cutting back in. It's like a replay of the first goal. Sierakowski. Looking to take on Polak this time. Polak wins the challenge. Falls to Simon Fitch. His shot is blocked. So it was almost an exact replica of the first Richmond, of the Richmond goal, I should say. Did the same thing again. Polak a little more balanced this time. Wasn't falling for the moves of Sierakowski. Gavilanes on the right for now, McKinnon on the left. Gavilanes is going to try try Beckett Howell here, excuse me. Hornsby back there helping as well. It'll go out for a Greenville throw, 5 or so yards from the corner flag. Jamie Smith, a man out of NC State. Coutinho gets around his defender. And that will result in a corner. His cross is blocked. First corner of the second half goes to the Triumph. It's a corner kick brought to you by WW Nash & Sons. Gavilanes will hear it from the River City Red Army. Try to quieten them here with a good delivery. Gavilanes swings it in. It's a good delivery, and Castro couldn't get on top of it. It will be another corner. Fitch was defending, did just enough to direct that header over the goal. Castro looking for his 7th headed goal of the season. He almost got it. That would have been on target. Maybe it came off Belmar, perhaps. So we'll try again with Gavilanes. More of a deeper ball this time. Fricky's there. As was Sierakowski defending. McKinnon. Swings it back and looking for Jamie Smith. He scored a header already this season. Back to Fricky. McKinnon. His first time cross isn't the best. Neither is the clearance. Eventually hacked away by the kickers. Pilato will keep it back in the final third. Coutinho back to Walker. And wide to McKinnon. McKinnon to the edge of the box, taking on Fitch. Gets a touch on it and knocks it out for a 3rd corner in the last minute for the Triumph. Putting the pressure on here in the second half. Triumph 10 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses in scoring the first goal this season. Failed to win, Richmond have failed to win their last 7 when giving up the opening goal, but they played their way back into this one. Pilato now. With the right-footed corner. It's deep. Sierakowski nods it away. Vignals will chase it down. He doesn't have much help there. He doesn't need it. Neil Vignals with a lovely bit of wizardry. Now it's a 4-on-3 for Richmond. Sierakowski and Suko streaking down the right. He finds Justin Suko. Is he onside? It won't matter because that's a superb bit of goalkeeping by Jared Mazzola. He committed to it. Pounced on that one to deny the goal-scoring chance. Here's another look at it here. It's a lovely ball by Vinyals. Suko with a decent enough first touch. Tried to go around Mazzola, who is quick on his feet. Greenville players streaking back into the 6-yard box to help out. Busy start to this second half here at City Stadium. Saw Darren Van Tassel of the South Georgia Tormenta tweeting earlier that he'd love a Richmond Kickers win here, telling Tormenta fans to go buy some Richmond kit. Good bit of good juju. Tormenta and Knoxville sitting just outside the playoff spots. Really do with some help from Richmond here. Here's your look at your scoring summary. That man, Alan Gavalanis, opened the scoring in the final minute of the first half. And then Ryan Sierakowski 3 minutes later would tie things up. Continue now. Turns Suko. Just crowded out though. Kickers will clear. Evan Lee. Defensive midfielder first half, center back second half. Greenville going back to the back four. Good ball by Lee for Gavalanis. Lays it off for Jamie Smith. Slows things down. It's Gavalanis now. Looking for help. All the way back to Lee. Castro. Nathan Orney all over it. Polak. Get a good look at his haircut this half. As Walker spins it wide for Smith. Hornsby over there. It's a lovely ball back to Walker, the dummy. Castro at the edge of the box, trying to create some space for himself. Zaka Moran was there to poke it away. Belmar in some space now. Back to Moran. Suko. That's good work back by McKinnon. Pitching in from his left wing spot. He'll chip it ahead for Castro, who shrugs off the challenge. Leo Castro to the edge of the box. And that's a beautiful finish by the Colombian. There was questions of a foul. He shrugged off the challenge of Trandler O'Dwyer, but no whistle. But a 12th goal of the season for that man, Leo Castro. He shrugged off the challenge of the Englishman. Faked out Palmquist with the initial fake shot, I should say, and then just lifted it over him. Palmquist was dead to rights at that point. He'd committed in no man's land. Greenville have their 1-goal lead back. That goal brought to you by Greenswell Growers. The replay, excuse me. All goals tonight brought to you by the Virginia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Goals in 2 straight games now for Leo Castro. Going 5 without one. Ryan McKinnon, some credit. He will get the assist on that goal. Helping back from his wing spot on defense and then setting Castro free. And there will be some questions from Darren Sawatsky about a potential foul, but no whistle from Gary Gutierrez. Leo Castro in the 54th minute. Screaming after that one. That's a turnover. Now a chance for Aaron Walker. Greenville finally get that 2-goal game they've been looking for a couple of months. Jamie Smith goes far side now. Nodded back across by McKinnon, but nobody there except for Coutinho. Tyler Polak never scored a USL League One goal. It's the most appearances without one. It's Belmar now. Evan Lee comes over from his center back spot to knock it out for a throw. Ryan McKinnon with the assist. It's his third of the season for the rookie. 7 goals and 3 assists, pretty solid first professional campaign for McKinnon. 4 of those did come in one match though, but still dealing with injuries. Certainly has to be given a lot of credit for that goal from Castro McKinnon. That's what he was brought in to do here in this second half, bring some energy. Ball goes over the head of Ryan Sierakowski. Gavilanes now in some space. He's got Beckett Howell in front of it. Gavilanes onto his favourite left foot. Gavilanes with the strike, but it's right at Palmquist. Looking for his second goal of the game and the season. He won't get it this time. This one goes all the way through to Jared Mazzola. I asked John Harkes if Leo Castro was the best finisher he's had in his time at Greenville, and he said probably. He said his natural ability really helps connect the game. He's got patience, he interprets space real well. They really want him to stay central, and that's exactly what he did on that goal. Streaking away after shrugging off the challenge off Chandler O'Dwyer. Early, the only injury at the moment for Greenville, who had so many injury problems earlier this season. Tevin Shaw is the only one out. Trained a couple of times this week. Said he was a little sore still, said John Hartz. Not sure if we'll see him on Friday, but perhaps down the stretch here, especially if Greenville can sew up a playoff spot soon. There are your shots. 8 for the Greenville, 5 of them on target. 5 for Richmond, only the 1 on target. Shot on target for Richmond went in. It's from Ryan Sierakowski. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157. North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday night. As Castro is offside this time. USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. Here's Fitch. Sierakowski. Lovely ball in, had plenty of pace. Hornsby there, drops it back to Vinyals, who pokes it towards the middle, but it's blocked by a Triumph player and out for a corner kick. Aaron Walker was over there, as was Jamie Smith. This corner brought to you by WW Nash & Sons. Neil Vinyals to take. It's a good delivery. Jamie Smith was there, as was Orny and Belmar. Been a little shorter, a little deeper. It might have found the kicker's head.
Last call for alcoholic beverages. All sales stopped after the 70th minute. Last call for alcoholic beverages.
Nathan Orny will launch this one into the box. Zoller is there, and will claim just in front. I think it was Chandler O'Dwyer coming up from his center back spot. Jamie Smith. Alanias couldn't haul that one in, otherwise he would have had a good chance to attack Beckett Howell. Darren Sawatsky. In a disappointing season, he said midweek that he hasn't been a part of a campaign like this, a disappointing one in the second half, especially of the season. Richmond were in the mix about halfway through, but it's been rough times here for the last 2.5 months. Again, seeking their first win tonight since July 1st. Last win came against the Chattanooga Red Wolves. It was a 2-0 victory. Castro now looking to turn. Floats it over for McKinnon. Decent first touch, but Fitch did well. Got in the way. Pollack will throw this one in for McKinnon. Pollack's pass for Pilato's a little astray, but falls to Aaron Walker. He'll have a crack from there. Walker, good ways over. Pops his goal and into the seats. Richmond topped the table last season with 51 points. Obviously, a little longer of a season this year. 3 teams have already surpassed that total. Lost in the semifinals to Chattanooga on a late goal by Rafa Minskin. The 5th most goals this year coming into this weekend. And into that total tonight here with 2 more allowed. Can they find an equalizer here in the last 28+ minutes? Coutinho gets a foot in and goes all the way back to Palmquist. Belmar with some space. It's a delightful ball for Sierakowski. He's got Fitch in support. And he finds it. Simon Fitch now. Crosses a good one. It goes right through the top of the 6-yard box. Vignals was in the vicinity. As was Hornsby, I think. A chance for Greenville to break. Avalanes. He's got McKinnon in acres of space here on the left. McKinnon now. Looking to take on Sierakowski in an unfamiliar role. McKinnon splits the double team, gets it back from Castro. McKinnon off the crossbar, I think. It was either that or a superb save from Will Palmquist. My, Liam McKinnon, what an impact he's had since coming on here at the break. That was an absolute rocket. The man from Switzerland. Over here, but then given right back to Vignals by Fricky, and Lee will intercept. Fricky nods this one away. Suka gets a foot in. USL is celebrating Hispanic Latino Heritage Month with stories, events, and more, bringing to life this special celebration across the league. Go to uslsoccer.com/Hispanic-Heritage to learn more. Whistle here, as we're not going to have another yellow card. It's perhaps Beckett Howell getting his first yellow card in USL League One. Go back and take a look at that shot from Liam McKinnon. Lovely little 1-2 between him and Castro. No, definitely a good save by Will Palmquist. Knocked it onto the bar, so it was both in the end. Fingertips of Palmquist pushing the ball onto the bar. As John Hart's having a discussion with Nate Schultz. We may see him into the game here soon. Evan Lee, though, he gets squeezed out. To get back in position. He's forgetting he's a center back now, not a midfielder. Hornsby. Beckett Howell streaking down that left wing. Sliding tackle by Fricky, though. Some space for Walker. Finds Castro. Back to Walker. Palada. Greenville surely quite happy to knock the ball around here and take some sting out of this game. Love that third goal, though. It's been a while since they've scored 3. Last time they scored 3 was back in August against the Charlotte Independents. Before that, it was mid-June in that 5-1 win over Chattanooga. Here's Aaron Walker. The left channel. Pulls it back to Palado. Gavilanes, scorer of the first goal tonight, taking on Beckett Howell. Gavilanes gets the cross in. McKinnon's there. Fitch not going to take any chances and nods it out of play for another WW Nash & Sons corner kick. Get 2 massive matches on Friday in USL League One. North Carolina and Omaha, as well as Greenville and the Hailstorm. So the top 3 teams in action, along with what could be the 5th place team if this result holds. Palado to take the corner. In, but headed away. There's McKinnon. His cross in, there's past ahead of Jamie Smith. Halfway point here in the second half. Ross Davenport with you. Thanks for joining us tonight on this Sunday. We're going to have some changes for Darren Sawadsky. Will be Wayne Gordon, along with one of the other young teenagers in this Richmond squad, Gabe Cox. Wayne Gordon will replace Beckett Howell. Gabe Cox.
Coming out for Richmond, number 34, Beckett Howell.
Well, you know in a minute who he replaces. And there it is, Justin Suka. Ryan McKinnon now. Back to McKinnon again from Palado. Oh, that's lovely work. Palado again. Walker, this one might bounce out of play, and it will. Go out for a goal kick. Will be a goal kick here for. Here are the live standings. Greenville up into 5th place as things stand. 1 point ahead of Madison with a game in hand. And they will only be 4 points behind Charlotte with a game in hand on them too. That game in hand will come not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday against Fuego on the road. A long trip for John Hawks' member. Here's a chance now. Belmar, good save by Mazzola. Cleared away by Polak. Was that Owain Gordon on that left side? I take it back. It was Owain Gordon just on the pitch. All the way back to Palmquist. So the substitutes looking to make an impact. McKinnon's already got an assist and nearly a goal. It was nearly a goal by the substitute Owain Gordon. Gabe Cox, the young midfielder, is on as heavily screens Belmar this time. Zola pounces on that one. Another look at your live standings. Tormentor and Knoxville certainly not liking the way this game is going at the moment. push them a little further away from potential playoff spot. Cox, a versatile midfielder. We'll see where he slots in here. Looks like he'll be in the center of the park. Darren Swatsky said Gabe Cox is good on the ball, great passing range. Ready for the challenge of professional football. He said when he signed his academy deal. Greenville about to make a couple of changes. His final 20 minutes or so as Brandon Fricky goes down, fouled by Neil Vinyals. And there are your substitutions, and we'll see the Greenville debut of Fernando Garcia. It's him on the left there, number 17. He'll come on along with Nate Schultz. So Garcia for Coutinho. Pretty much a straight swap there as an attacking midfielder. See the size difference between Coutinho and Garcia when he comes off here. He's a big lad, 6'2", Mexican-American. Nate Schultz will come on to give Tyler Polak a rest. Polak still trying to get back to full 90-minute condition. And there's the final look you'll see of Tyler Polak's haircut. Hey, if it continues to work, catch another win here. Polak likely be sporting that haircut again on Friday against the Hailstorm. Nate Schultz will go to right back, perhaps. Jamie Smith to the center back and Evan Lee to left back. Pretty comfortable there, Evan Lee. That's going to be a foul on Nate Schultz. So Union Omaha scored twice in the final 15 minutes. To get a win last night against Fuego. Can Richmond pull something similar out of their hat here? There's Fernando Garcia. He'll push a little further forward. Give Castro a rest. Omaha now with 10 wins in a row. Red hot. Nobody's going to want to face them in the playoffs. Hornsby swings it over. Sierakowski onto his left foot this time. No shot is half blocked by Evan Lee. Now for a corner kick brought to you by WW Nash & Sons. Michael Hornsby will take it. Former Tormenta 2 and Fuego man. Good delivery. Away by Castro. Richmond have had some good deliveries. Darren Swatsky was lamenting this midweek about the lack of quality service, but their service has been there tonight. It's just been slightly off at times. Long or too short, and here's Castro now. One-on-one with the youngster, Gabe Cox. Castro shrugs off his challenge, finds Garcia. It's good work from Zaka Moran with the body. A veteran. No chance for Richmond to break as this one's going end-to-end here. Hornsby out wide to Owain Gordon. Schultz is over there defending. He will knock it out for another Richmond corner kick. Richmond pushing here, looking for the equalizer. Also looking for only their second shot on target of the game. First one went in. Maybe the second one will too. Vinyals. This front post looking for O'Dwyer. Cleared away by Greenville. Wayne Gordon. A little move by him. Finds Vinyals. Vinyals skips inside. That's a good tackle though by Noah Pilata. Chance for Garcia to break now. Finds Castro. Garcia's on his horse. McKinnon trying to join the twosome. Castro. Vinyals tracking back well. Takes it away from the Colombian. Back to Vinyals again. Looking for Sierakowski, but he steps up and intercepts. Walker. Garcia. Played his college soccer in a number of places. UNC Charlotte. He went to Eastern Florida State College. Didn't play soccer there, though. Then North Texas Community College before finishing up at UNC Greenville for 2 years. Back in his home state. As that one rolls out of play. As we approach 14 minutes remaining in this one from City Stadium. Ross Davenport with you. Greenville 2, Richmond 1. And just under 15 minutes remaining in this one. Let's look at your scoring summary. Gavilanes in the 45th and Castro in the 54th for Greenville. As for Richmond, it was Ryan Sierakowski in stoppage time at the end of the first half with a lovely left-footed blast. Castro is dumped, no call though. Cox. Vinyals. Finds Gordon out wide in a bit of space. Pull it all the way back to Hornsby. Swinging in left-footed, and yeah, not much to say about that. Here's a look at Jared Mazzola. A 24-year-old from Katona, New York. Hasn't made a save yet tonight. He did make one nice pounce on the ball. Richmond certainly looked like scoring. Only in the second half. There's Liam McKinnon. Walker. Fricky. He's going to go long. It's a delightful ball from and a good first touch from McKinnon. Going to take on Simon Fitch. McKinnon with the right-footed strike. Hits Fitch. He'll go with the left foot. Hits Fitch again. That's good work from Simon Fitch, but it will be a corner kick. Fitch, the Richmond, Virginia native. Also a product of the Richmond United youth system. Also played for Lionsbridge, along with Matt Bentley on the bench tonight for Richmond.
We thank you for joining us at City Stadium this evening.
Greenville will go short here. Castro knocks it to Garcia. Castro tried to lift it over Hornsby. Failed miserably. Will regain possession here. Picks the pocket of Vinyals. Out wide now for Gavilanes. Back to his left foot. He was looking for the top far corner, but didn't find it. We'll have some substitutions here again. Greenville have made 3 so far, Richmond 2, and this will be 2 more for Richmond. As Jake Meekham, the rookie, will come in. On comes also Nicholas Simmons, one of the other young players thrust into action here for Richmond. 6'3" midfielder. His dad Gregory played for the Kickers 20 years ago. He signed an academy deal in July. This is the 4th straight game for Simmons off the bench. Nathan Orney going on a rampaging run here through the middle. Nathan Orney knocks it out wide to Sierakowski. That's good play by Jamie Smith. Nathan Orney giving the Richmond crowd something to cheer about. Once she catches his breath, he'll throw this one in. Not a traditional long one, though, as he goes short to Vinyals. Liam McKinnon wants the throw, but he won't get it. We had a whistle. Maybe a foul, perhaps, on McKinnon? It will be. Too much contact from the rookie for Gary Gutierrez's liking. So a dangerous chance here for Neil Vinyals. You can deliver them with the best in USL League One from set pieces. There's another ball in the field that will have to be dealt with. Here comes the ball person. Scoop it up. Now we're ready to go again. Richmond very deep in the box, not going to run onto this one. Vignol's perhaps just going to try and cause chaos somewhere. There are a couple of kickers around the penalty spot. Rest them on the edge of the 6-yard box. Here's the delivery from Vignol. It's a good one again. Dealt with by Greenville and headed away by McKinnon. This one falls to the feet of Hornsby, just past the post. Looking for his first goal of the season. Playing midfield tonight, and it wasn't too far away. So we will see the entrance of Devon Boyce, the former Omaha man. He'll replace Leo Castro. Daniel Wu, rookie defender. He'll replace Gavel Agnes.
Number 2, Daniel Wu.
Daniel Wu, something more of a defender. John Mark's going to make some changes here. Wu can play a bit of midfield. Looks like that's where he'll slot in. Marks just wants to clog the middle of this field, perhaps, for the rest of this game. Wu perhaps will sit just in front of the back line. As Meekum chases this one down. Meekum, the rookie out of the University of Nevada from Las Vegas. This is his 15th sub appearance. Boyce placing Gavel Agnes on that right side. Devon Boyce on the bench now for the fourth time in the last 6 games. He was a consistent starter earlier this season, but he's fallen down the pecking order a little bit. We're seeing a bit of offensive production from him. As Lee sends this one a little aimlessly downfield. Under 8 minutes remaining here from Citi Field. Richmond looking for a late equalizer. Greenville looking for that 3 points that would edge them that much closer to clinching a playoff spot. It won't happen tonight. But the win will move them into 5th, lifting them above forward Madison. Lost over the weekend to Charlotte. So Greenville now with 43 points, Madison with 42. Work on my math tonight, but I think a win over the Hailstorm on Friday night, followed with Tormenta loss on Saturday, would perhaps clinch a playoff spot for Greenville. They're up 5 points now on Tormenta. A win would get them 8 points clear of Tormenta, and Tormenta would only have 2 games left after Saturday, so I think I'm right. Knoxville now 7 points behind Greenville, so they perhaps need a little help from Knoxville as well. This ball's pulled back. A chance here for Sierakowski to get his second, Willie, onto the left foot, but no, helps back there, and Cox! Did Mazzola get a touch on that? I think he did. If so, that's a monster save from Mazzola. Sierakowski had the initial chance, and it fell to the youngster, Gabe Cox. Let's take another look here. Good work by Hornsby again. Been a key to such most of the good work tonight from Richmond. This one fell to Cox, and that's a ridiculous save from Mazzola off the ground. Jamie Smith was on the line, might have been able to get a touch on it. Hornsby with the corner now. Headed away by Pallado. Now he'll look to break. Gabe Cox drags him down. That'll be a yellow card for the 18-year-old. Jared Mazzola coming up big once again for Greenville, as he has done so many times this season. Yes, he's made a couple of mistakes, but I think he's more than made up for it with the amount of goals he's saved with acrobatic stops like that one. This one deep into a road game, looking for their second straight road victory, Greenville. They're undefeated in 4 road games if they can hold on here, Greenville. Schultz will let this one roll out of play. Swatsky still encouraging his team. Kerry Fitzgerald sitting there on the bench behind him. Garcia, that's a delightful turn, but when he gets a toe in there, Garcia wants the foul, doesn't get it. Wanting to lump it ahead, looking for the sprinting on Wayne Gordon. Good angle taken by Schultz, though. Gordon is not short of speed. Get a little towel to wipe off the ball. Once again, send this one into the danger area. Headed down. Greenville done a good job dealing with aerial attacks tonight. There's no doubt about that. Stats say both teams have won 50% of the aerial duels as this one falls to the ground in the box. Wayne Gordon was there, stayed on his feet. No half shouts for a penalty. As we enter the last 3 minutes of the 90 here. Going over the stats here, still only 3 shots on target for Richmond. One just came a couple of minutes ago. Resulted in a superb save from Jared Mazzola, which will certainly be up for save of the week. Especially considering he was just on the ground right before it and got up and just stuck a paw up and knocked that Gabe Cox effort away. Schultz. Runs it away. And the player down for Greenville. A bit of cramp, perhaps. It's Aaron Walker. Clock will stop. The referee is showing you. 56 final third entries for Greenville, 55 for Richmond. It's been a very even match. 10 shots to 12. Greenville have just taken their chances when they've got them. Greenville have also won possession 11 times in the final third to Richmond's 4. Showing a good press at times tonight, Greenville. Look at how we've got to where we are here. Gavilanes and Castro for Greenville. Ryan Sierakowski for the home team. So Greenville had a 98% chance of making the playoffs coming into this one. 3 points here. Likely move it to 99. And we'll face Northern Colorado Hailstorm. Let's look at your live standings. It's a 5-point gap now between Greenville in 5th and Tormenta in 7th. The 2 key numbers there, that extra game in hand that Greenville has, plus that extra win. Wins are the first tiebreaker. This one's flicked in, it falls to the feet, and it's headed. It was Meekum that was in there at the penalty spot as he takes down a Greenville player. Jake Meekum with a half chance. Mazzola pounces on it. So we get into the final minute of the 90. Greenville will have one more win than Madison and Tormenta. That extra game is that key one. It will be 2 Wednesdays in Central Valley. Still time here perhaps though for Richmond. As the cross comes in from Simmons over everybody. He catches a shot in the face, but track this one down with Meekum. Gabe Cox, he's got some quick feet. The youngster. Orney. His low cross. Knocked away by Fricky. Chance here for, I think that was Vignals. Didn't make great contact with it though. And Jared Mazzola will pick it up as we see 5 minutes of added time here in Richmond, brought to you by Greenswell Grower. Can Richmond find another late equalizer like he did at the end of the first half? Some folks in Madison and Statesboro, Georgia would love it if they could. That's for sure. Here's McKinnon now. Meekin wants the throw, but he won't get it. It will be a Greenville ball. He's wasting time here. Greenville's maybe there for Greenville to take it anyway. Greenville can win that game in hand against Fuego. They could pull within 1 point of Charlotte. Huge if Greenville could get that 4th spot in a home playoff game. Still a bit of an outside chance, though. Charlotte would have to stumble. Referee Gary Gutierrez wants them to take it again. I heard somebody's opinion on that decision. Charlotte, 3 games left. Home against Knoxville, at Omaha, and then home against Tormenta. No easy games in League One, really. These days, anyway, since the departure of Orlando City B, perhaps. Richmond going long here, looking for one last chance, perhaps, or 2 if they can, as McKinnon goes down. No, McKinnon gets called for the foul, excuse me, on Meekin. Not the best spot to give away a foul when you have a 1-goal lead with 3 minutes remaining. McKinnon asking how many Mazzola wants in the wall. It's a long way out. Let's take another look at the replay here and see what McKinnon did. He just went straight through the back of Meekin. Not sure what he was really complaining about. Neil Vinyals. Can he serve one up here for a Richmond kicker's head? It's a good delivery. Some half-hearted shouts for a corner, but it will not be. It will be a goal kick, and now Evan Lee is down. Giving his teammates a bit of a rest. That won't please the Richmond fans in attendance. Lee played defensive mid the first half, and then Gary Gutierrez reminding Zaka Moran that the whistle is stopped. Of course, this gives the legs a little time to rest too. Surely a bit of gamesmanship. So 2 huge road wins in a row for the Triumph if they can hold on here. Evan Lee does look to be in some pain with that calf or hamstring, whatever it is that's bothering him. Evan Lee, the 29-year-old out of Toledo, Ohio, played for John Harkes when he was with FC Cincinnati. As did Tyler Polak, as well as as well as Aaron Walker. So it'll be a goal kick here as we wind down towards the final minute of this 5 minutes of stoppage time. There'll perhaps be a 1 or 2 added on, though. You saw what happened at the end of the first half when they added a minute on for Greenville's late goal. Ryan Sierakowski scored in that 3rd minute of stoppage time that was added on. Zola goes deep. Boyce is there. Falls to Owain Gordon. Nate Schultz will have to track him back. Owain Gordon to the edge of the box. His cross attempt is blocked by Brandon Fricky, and out for another WW Nash & Sons corner. You can see the kickers trying to hurry up here, showing some urgency. Can they find another late goal in a half? Vignal swings it in. It's a good delivery again, headed away by a Greenville player. Now for another WW Nash & Sons corner kick. Richmond looking to play spoiler. Helping out the likes of Tormentor, Madison, Knoxville. Hornsby. Towards the far post. That's a good claim by Mazzola. Trips over his player, or pretends to trip over a player. Mazzola will probably take the yellow card at this point. He's only got 1 on the season. It's a good claim. Ball was up in the air for a long time. That's all it had to be secured-handed, though. Now 30 seconds into an extra minute, or two perhaps. Zola goes to the ground. He can kick it almost further off the ground than he can out of his hands. Garcia would like to take this one to the corner. Oh, that's delightful. Finds Boyce in the channel, but Moran's there to hack it into the stands. I think it may have hit somebody. Some concerned glances that way. Hopefully they're okay. Just gotta keep your eyes on the field. You're in the stands, you never know when the ball's going to enter. Looks like somebody has taken one in the head. That will be a yellow card for Devon Boyce. It's his 9th of the season. That could result in a suspension for Devon Boyce, if my math is correct. Did have a red card early this season, though, which they take away those 2 yellows and replace it with the red. You obviously get the immediate 1-game suspension as Palmquist smashes it downfield, over the head. And that will do it. Another massive road win for the Greenville Triumph as John Harkes is all smiles, as his team edges that much closer to clinching a playoff place. It could come Friday night. Well, actually, it could come Saturday if the Greenville can take care of Northern Colorado at home on Friday night and get some help elsewhere. There's your man of the match. Brought to you by Kiter CPA. Ryan Sierakowski with his 4th goal of the season. It would tie things up late in the first half, and they wouldn't have an answer for Leo Castro's 12th goal of the season in the 54th minute. That one is the difference tonight, as this 1-day delayed match is finished up. There is your game winner, Leo Castro. Let's take a look at your save of the game, brought to you by Impossible Pups. McKinnon had a big impact coming off the bench. This first-time strike was beautifully saved by Will Palmquist onto the bar. And he regained possession. That one would have made it 3-1. Really put this game away, but Greenville would hold on nonetheless. And 3 points for the Triumph moves them into 5th place in the table, ahead of Forward Madison. Stick with us. We'll be right back with full-time highlights and stats from this one. Your final score, Triumph 2, Kickers 1.
We would not have a business today if it weren't for the support of the many, many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the UCrops brand stands for.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with a provider today.
Hi, I'm Megan Mack, president of Prospect Blue.
And I'm Jess Barnes, Director of Business Development at Prospect Blue.
Prospect Blue is a staffing and recruiting firm headquartered right here in Richmond, Virginia. We serve the Mid-Atlantic region and beyond.
With the labor market experiencing historic shortages, Prospect Blue is here to help companies attract and retain key talent.
With strong relationships in the corporate, financial, legal, and medical fields, we are in a unique position to connect employers with job seekers.
Welcome back to City Field as you get a look at Emiliano Terzaghi, the injured Richmond striker, chatting with tonight's game winner, Leo Castro, as the Triumph edge the Kickers 2-1 here in the delayed game from yesterday. Let's take a look at your full-time highlights, brought to you by the Virginia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. It was Greenville who would take the lead in this one late in the first half. Good work down the left by Noah Frankie. Would pull it back for Alan Gavalanis, who would smash it high past Palmquist. That was in the 45th minute. We thought Greenville would take a 1-0 lead to the half, but Ryan Sarakowski had other thoughts. Get to him in a second. It was Michael Hornsby going across the pitch here. Tyler Polak committed a little too hard. Sarakowski tricked inside of him and fired that one with his left foot past Jared Mazzola. We would go to the break, tied at 1. Then 9 minutes into the second half, Ryan McKinnon, what an impact he would make off the bench. Perhaps a hint of a foul there, but it was shoulder to shoulder. Castro shrugs off Trondler O'Dwyer, the little fake, and then the beautiful chip over Palmquist for tonight's winning goal. Castro's 12th of the season, and a big 3 points for the Greenville Triumph as they edge closer and closer to the playoffs. Greenville did have some other late chances. This was Alan Gavilanes from distance, right at Will Palmquist though. And a good night tonight again, Gavilanes, getting his first goal of the season to add to his 7 assists. It was a great late chance again for Sarakowski. Watch this save from Mazzola coming up. He hits the ground there and then back up to deny teenager Gabe Cox the equalizing goal in the final 5 minutes. Here are your full-time stats, even in the shots department, 12-12. But Greenville doubling up Richmond with 6 shots to 3. But the stat that matters is the 3 points that Greenville will take back to South Carolina this evening. 3 points that move them into 5th place in the standings, with perhaps a chance at catching Charlotte for 4th. We'll see how things transpire next week in the USL League One. Well, my name's Ross Davenport. Big thanks to my crew behind the scenes tonight. Thank you all for tuning into this one on a busy football Sunday. This was football, and Greenville take home the 3 points with a 2-1 victory over the Richmond Kickers. See you next time here. Have a good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.